congratulations, you've made it to the US and you're excited and everyone is excited. You got admission, you got the visa, you got scholarship or not, but you're here in the US and you're wondering what's next. I am here to share with you what you need to do next immediately. Apart from the other things I've shared, I believe that these are very important things that you need to know, that you need to start off with. Number one is you need to have your ID, state ID. The reason why I recommend that you get your state ID is that in most places you'll be going, whether most importantly maybe those who love enjoying their liquor or something, if you go to the pub, you'll always have to show your ID. Now, the bad part of it is that you will be working with your passport. And that's your passport, that's the one that has your visa, has your, so it's just good to secure your passport. And how to secure your passport is to have an alternative identification. So another thing is that you can decide to use your home country ID, but that's not, I don't think some places they will even accept your home ID. So the thing I'll recommend is that go in to DMV, go online and see how you can apply for your state ID. As an international student, you are allowed to get a state ID. It's going to be written at the back temporary, but it will be an official identification. And if you want to get a driver license, it will look almost the same. So start with the state ID. Go to DMV. You'll get, the process is very, very clear. You'll get you'll apply online, you book a date, and you'll go in, and it should be very straightforward. What I need to tell you is that where you're staying, they'll need to have maybe a water bill or something to show that you're in that residential area, so that they can issue you with your ID. So apart from that, you can always just go and tell them, I'm here, I'm renting at this place temporary, but I'm going to get, so you can always argue your case. For me, I didn't have a water bill or anything. I went with my host address and I gave them, and I was issued with a state ID. So it's not a very difficult process. So that's one, you need to have your state ID, okay? The other thing that you should be doing now and almost like immediately start is open a bank account, because as you'll be going to work for the university, they'll require you to have a bank account. So for you to open a bank account, all you need is your passport and your I-20. They'll ask you if you'll be working, having a direct transfer. I know a lot of you will already have gotten a job offer. Just let them know either you'll be having a direct transfer and all that. Why am I sharing this? If you open an account in some of the banks here in the US, I opened an account with Chase. I automatically got a $200 bonus, total checking. So when you go to the bank, ask them if they have actually do the online search, you get the code. I have been with Chase, so I will definitely recommend Chase at whatever, because I've worked with them. I'm not advertising, I'm not affiliated to Chase, but it has worked for me. So when I signed in, I got a 200 bonus, and again there are terms and conditions, so also have that at the back of your mind. There'll be terms and conditions that apply. The third one that I would recommend is that you get, for the first year, you get your health insurance from the university. The reason being, you are new, you are an international student. Most local insurance don't cover international students, and the university covers to the maximum. I have had a surgery and my student insurance paid for it, and it was a major knee reconstruction. Some of you know that I've been away because of the knee surgery I had. It was major. They had to split my bone, they had to put screws in there. This is my 4th month. I'm still like doing my therapy and all that. So I recommend get the student health insurance from the university, because this will help you a lot, and most of the time they cover quite a chunk of, So however, in some places you'll get to pay co-pays, like you have to pay a certain amount before, but generally it's going to be like a really good problem solver. The fourth thing that I would love for you to get is get a credit card. Credit card is safer compared to debit card. I know most of us are used to debit in our countries where we are coming from. People emphasize a lot on don't buy if you don't have money. But in the US, there's the culture of buy. You can build up your credit, just buy, you'll pay later. So I mean, when you go to Rome, you do what Romans do. Now you're in the US, you have to build your credit history. Why do you want to build your credit history? It can help you in terms of emergency, it can help you get loan, it can help you. So your credit is very, very important. It will really help you in terms of need. And then if you want to buy a house, they'll just run your credit history. If you want to buy a car, they'll run your credit history. So your credit card is very, and it's always secured. If anybody scams you online, they will not take your money. You can just revoke that transaction and the money comes back to you. So as in, like, the money is not gone as in debit card. So get a credit card. For me, I got my credit card from Chase Bank. I have the Freedom Chase. Again, I'm not advertising for them, I'm just sharing what has worked for me. The fifth thing that you need to have is your phone. Like right now you're here in the US or you're not abroad. I'm talking about students who are here in the US and you're wondering which phone plus is best for you. Again, this access it online. Phone plus is like the carrier, you know. So one thing you need to check on is whether the phone you're currently using can carry a US phone. I remember when it came, my daughter had a phone called Infinix and it could not accept US. I had an iPhone, so mine was easy, you know. But for my daughter, it could not accept the US phone, the carrier. So we had to get a new phone. So you need to check with your carrier, whatever you're using. For me, I'm using T-Mobile. I've never had any problem with it. And for now, it's a family carrier. So I can always add up to 8 people into my package, and that's how I managed to add my sister, and now she's paying lower because she's now in my family plus carriage. The sixth thing that you need to know is that you need to check in with your international office, international student services, just to let them know that you're around. You can write an email, go for the orientation, because they'll always keep you updated on what's happening, how to go about it, the rules, just general rules of staying in the US. And again, I mentioned this, my state, I'm in Colorado. In my state, people are allowed to take cannabis, but if you're an international student, you're covered by the federal law. Federal law does not allow cannabis. It's not like it's illegal for you to, you know. So for you, please, however much the state allows you to do some things, you'll mostly be looked under the federal law and not only the state law. So just stay at the right side of the law. That's what I want to say. The seventh thing is that you need to set up your utilities. Utilities, what I mean by utilities is water bill, electricity bill. I remember when I came in, okay, I assume that you've already gotten your apartment. If you haven't, I've done a video on how to go about it. So I remember there's a time, okay, my first apartment, the guy who had lived in that apartment did not transfer. So for the first few months, I didn't get the bills. But then when he transferred, it still didn't come to me. So there's a time I just, my electricity just went off and I didn't know what was happening. I went to my landlord and she was like, when was the last time you paid? And I'm like, I didn't pay, I've not been paying. They're like, you need to pay for your utilities. So I had to go in and check with Excel Energy and see how, so that's our electricity provider, and pay for them to, but you can also have a plan on payment, and that's how I paid for my utilities. So set up your utilities. Number 8, get a very strong Wi-Fi but affordable. I know the carriers come with data, unlimited data bundles, but there are those who also prefer to have Wi-Fi in the apartment. I use Xfinity and it's very, very strong. I don't know whether it's in other states, but in Colorado we have Xfinity, and I don't know whether it's a nationwide. I don't know, please don't blame me for it. Just that's what I'm using. So set up your Wi-Fi and, you know, start the process. Another thing that I wanted to also share, that's number 8, is renter's insurance. So some apartments will want you to have renter's insurance so that it covers you from any fire, theft, such kind of things. So just check on the best insurance that will cover you in the best way. If you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is Sheila Vandegraff. I have just graduated. I just graduated with my second master's in international development from University of Denver. I was on a full-time scholarship and was very privileged to come in as an international student. I also used to do my work part-time as a research assistant, and that's 20 hours per week plus my full scholarship. It enabled me to pay for many of the things that I used to I took care of my rent and all that. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. If you find this platform valuable, please subscribe, like, share, and tell me where you're watching me from. And congratulations if you've already come to the US. Let's start this journey, and let's enjoy and explore, and let's share more information as you go by. Please let me know where you're watching me from. Remember to subscribe, like. Thank you.